Welcome to Mucho TV, where we learn from one another. My name is Janvier Nahimana, Canada for Africa Media Advisor. I have two guests today, Yusuf, the President for African Association New Brunswick, and Saa Andrew, Creative Officer for Bachelor of Arts New Brunswick. Welcome all to Mucho TV. To begin,
Thank you.
Yusuf, tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Janvier. Very happy to be part of your show today. And my name is Yusuf Shire, originally from Somalia, but I grew up in Kenya. So when I came to Canada 2017. So I've been here for 13 years now. And I've been part of the African community in New Brunswick, and working with brothers like Saa Andrew and other people in the community here, and try to betterment of our people in New Brunswick here. So we've been involved in trying to empower, educate our youth, and try to inspire them to aim for a better, or like a higher goal, really, for the next generation to succeed. So, but there is a lot more that we do here now. As Andrew mentioned, I'm the new president for the New Brunswick African Association. So we want to work and we want to reach all the Africans or Black people, like all over the world or around Canada, and to see how we can be able to be unified together and to collaborate in our common goals. In Somali, Somali, it's Side Batai, so hello, Side Batai, and in Swahili, so how are you, you mean, right? Uko aje?
Asante sana. Yeah, I'm from Burundi. We are not far from Ethiopia, Somalia, and we are in East Africa. So we speak Swahili as the common language for East Africa. And the habari gani muzuri sana.
Kabisa, kabisa.
All right, my friend Saa Andrew, over to you. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Saa Andrew, the Chief Creative Officer for Ball of the Art NB. I'm originally from Sierra Leone, and I'm so happy to be in this community. And all I do is to create arts and to amplify, to speak, to uplift, and to share, and to tell stories and to empower. And that's what I do. And I'm so pleased and humble to know somebody like you and to work with somebody like Yusuf Shire, my brother. And I'm so happy to be here today.
Tell us just a little about your country. I imagine how you miss your country. Tell us about your country.
Sierra Leone is where I come from originally. It's a very small country. It's about the size of 7 million people. And it's located in the west coast of Africa. And it's a place where when you're talking about diamonds from Africa, that's one of the places where you talk about, if you're talking about cocoa, cacao, and that's where you talk about, you're talking about rutile, bauxite, that's where you talk about, and I know these things are also a lot in other parts of Africa, but these are just some of the things that are in Sierra Leone where I come from. And I know for sure Sierra Leone diamond is everywhere around the world, including the West here, where we live right now. I don't know that for sure. Yeah.
Tell us about how welcoming is New Brunswick. When you arrived, do you have a family? How you settle in New Brunswick?
New Brunswick is a very nice place, very good community. And settled very well. I arrived here with my dad and my siblings, and I'm living in Brunswick here. My dad and my family live in the other side by Quebec area, and I live in Fredericton. And it's been open. I went to university here and studied human rights law, and that's me. You see here.
I get a time just to meet you maybe 3 years ago, organizing cultural activities for African Heritage Month. So now we are starting soon, February. what is your plan for African Heritage Month 2021?
Well, maybe I would like my president, Brother Yusuf Shire, to answer that question first and see.
Yeah. Thank you, Saa Andrew. So as you just mentioned, Janvier, so we're about to enter February, and as we know, February was declared as Black History Month. But we, as an African community, we created, it's a Black History Month, but we're calling it African Heritage Month / Black History Month. And our theme this year is amplifying our voices and our stories through arts, through performances, through our lived experiences, our stories, education, and learning from one another, and sharing resources that we have, like, sharing African books written by African authors, where it's going to be placed around the province at the library. So it's this year we want to really push the narrative of Africa, and we want to own our narratives. So the aim for this year, amplifying our voices and our stories, is to own our narratives and share our stories. It's time for Africans to tell their stories and to own it. So that's our theme for this year, amplifying our voices and our stories.
So, Mr. Andrew, Saa Andrew, let me know now the lineup for all the month. What your people will get a chance to see coming to visit New Brunswick.
Well, first of all, we're going to start the month on February 1st with our opening ceremony. And we're going to have various panelists, including the president of the New Brunswick African Association, Brother Yusuf. And also we have the CEO for Dialogue NB, Nadine Dugoy and Lame. Also, we're going to have the Lieutenant Governor who will be there to also help. And we're going to also have a member of the land and from the indigenous community to grace this particular month that we're about to get into, and because we are all in this together. And also on throughout the month we'll be having various different activities, and including dancing, drumming workshop, reading, and reading books, just like what my brother just mentioned here, Mr. Yusuf. And we're going to have those in the libraries, and we're going to have workshops based on, we're going to have panel discussions with local artists from New Brunswick, Black artists, to talk about their challenges and their success, and what they're doing currently, and where are they right now, and all of that. Because there's so much. We want to talk about Africans in the past, Africans in the current, and the first Africans who come here to New Brunswick. What have they contributed? So it's going to be like an open dialogue, conversations, talking, sharing our cultures, and actually we're going to have more sessions, more talkings, more conversations on systemic racism here in New Brunswick, and what are the things that we want, so that we can able to say, yeah, we are all part of New Brunswick. We are all part of making here. And these are the stories, these are the challenges, these are the success, and these are the things we want to amplify. We want to amplify Black voices, Black and indigenous voices. We want to amplify that, so that is what the month is going to look like. It's going to be more of educational dialogue, calling it out. Racism exists. Let's talk about it. How can we fix it? Let's face it. All of that. So that is the month you'll be looking at right now. February 1st, starting with the opening with various panel discussions. And we are so happy. We already have a lineup to able to just come, with thanks to partners who are coming on board to able to help us make this happen. And wonderful highlights that we have, and that will helping us to make this happen. Yeah.
Mr. Yusuf, a few months ago, it was Black Lives Matters around the world, starting from US to Canada. Tell us about how that moment you lived it in New Brunswick, and what we need to do to keep this momentum continue, because we don't want just it happened for the media, and just a short moment, because all the media was focusing on that. What we need to do to keep this momentum continue and speak out about Black Lives Matters and racism?
Thank you for that question. Just to add it to what Saa Andrew was saying, we're gonna be actually on February 1st. So with the ceremony, opening ceremony, we're gonna be flying. We're gonna be raising the Pan-African flag through the New Brunswick provinces. So Fredericton as the capital city, at the city hall, and at the lieutenant's governor's house, Mountain, St. John, Edmundston, Kuspamses. Yeah, so about 6 other cities are going to be flying a Pan-African flag. And just for the question that you asked, the momentum, that was a great momentum, really, to see how everybody pay attention, for George Floyd. And, and a lot of people, they had that, as a lot of parents came out, everybody really felt, that that moment, or that pain that George Floyd went through. Every person is a mother, every person is a child, or is a son or a daughter. So that moment there, that's why, there was a lot of support of people coming out. So how we can continue that momentum going and continue voicing our voices and saying, Black Lives Matter, that we contributed, Black people have contributed to the betterment of not just Canada, but Europe as a whole. So this is where I was saying in the beginning, we need, as Africans, as Black people, we need to start owning our narratives. We need to start owning our stories. We need to be able to share our stories, have spaces, so social media. Thank you to you, Macho TV. So this is kind of more of these platforms that we need, that we can be able to come to and share this type of stories. So really, thank you for creating this type of platform for people like us to be able to come and share what's happening in our communities. So this is one of the steps we can take by creating platforms where we can be able to come and share our stories.
So, Mr. Saa Andrew, let's now just think about, we live in a community, we live in a society that welcome immigrants, welcome Africans. How did you find the support from officials, from the province, how the province supported this movement for Black Lives Matters?
Thanks again. Well, I want to say I don't see much support that I wanted to see, but I see community members, diverse community members, and that come out, that stood up, that says, no, enough is enough. Let's go out. Let's come and stand with our Black brothers and sisters. I see indigenous people come out. I see Black people come out. I see white people come out. I see people of all races come out in different cities to able to stand with us, to stand by us. But I still think that there's more needs to be done. It's not, when we're talking about these things, it's not just the day, one day thing, one day event, and we'll just come and say, everybody hold a flag out, hold a sign up and say, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. That is not all. Or Indigenous Life Matters. There are key, the government have responsibilities, and we citizens as well, we have responsibilities. Things that I like to see in order for government to say these people, they belong, the indigenous, they belong, or the Black, they belong, or anyone. I want to see more representations of Black and indigenous communities in key decision-making roles in government. More representation and funding for Black organizations so they can support communities with housing, education, and healthcare. Right? I want to see that happen. Okay. Also, we have to admit that racism, actually systemic racism, it happens here. It exists here. It's ongoing here in the classrooms, in the working places, and everywhere. These things exist. So it is not only one day we come out to say Black Lives Matters or Indigenous Life Matters. If you really want to show all life matters, put key representations of these different groups in key positions, decision-making roles, so we can all sit down at the tables, we can all share, we can all say, this is the route we need to take. This is what we need to do in order to make Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada a more welcoming place, a more equal field ground. That is what I'd like to see more. Then we can say, yeah, I know our life matters. But community members come out the day for these events. I see so many beautiful faces. Black, white, purple, blue, everybody come out. But it is not just one day event. This is an ongoing thing. I don't want to celebrate African Heritage Month just 1 month. We want to celebrate it all the time. We should not just celebrate indigenous people in one day or one festival, one occasion. Every day. How do you support those things? How do you celebrate them? Give them the power to be able to support themselves. Put them in where you make decisions, put them in high-ranking positions, so that we can all see to make decisions for the betterment of the community, our people, our culture, our heritage. We have Black people who have come to New Brunswick way long time. They have settled here. We have to honor those people who have come here first. We also have to honor the people who are currently making changes, who are currently fighting, striving hard. Right? So we have to support those things. That's how you say Black life matters. That's how you say indigenous life matters. That's how you say every life matters. If you want to say that systemic racism is here, it happens every day. We have to face it. So I encourage everyone not just to say we're coming to stand out for Black life, or we're coming to stand out for this life or whatsoever for a day. It's an ongoing stand up. You have to stand up every day. And how you stand up is you calling it out that so and such exist. Let's face it. How can we face it? How can we stop it? It's by bringing minorities, bringing everyone on the table, men and women, everyone, so that we can all see it. We make our community a better place.
So, Mr. Yusuf, yeah, you represent a community, and we know in our communities, Black communities have been impacted by COVID-19. We know here in Nova Scotia, I get interviews with mayor and other officials. Yeah, they recognize that really the impact of COVID-19 impact to Black communities. Can you tell us about how COVID-19 impacted Black community in New Brunswick?
Thank you, Janvier. Yes, I mean, COVID-19 really disrupted, the livelihood of everybody. Really, this was nobody saw this coming. So, but the impact, you see the narratives, the stories on the social media, on the news, this is affecting more of the marginalized or the minority group, and those people. Black people are in that group. So a lot of Black people, especially in New Brunswick, I can speak about New Brunswick as the immigrants community in New Brunswick, faced really a tough time, like a rough time through the pandemic. So the COVID-19 regarding job loss, and not because of just job loss, because even in the beginning, they were not working or doing like those jobs that they can be able to sustain. So a lot of jobs that they were doing, a lot of people ended up losing their jobs. A lot of people, their livelihood was changed because of the pandemic. So this really disrupted a lot of our community, members of our community that we know. They're like right now, they lack employability. Some of them, they're still, having, with the health department or with the health right now, it's really hard. So if you're a Black person, even before the pandemic, we were having issues or struggling to get, some good health services. So right now, in the midst of the pandemic, we actually seeing even the challenge now is become even a little bit even more, that people cannot be able to get to see a doctor or even to get somebody to see them. So it's becoming a challenge, especially in the midst of the pandemic. So, and this is where we're trying to push to see, as my brother Saa Andrew was mentioning, in this position, change makers, like we need to be able to have people representation in all these places, because if people don't know our culture, they don't know how, our way of life, it becomes a challenge every time we're trying to talk with this, we go to these places. It seems like we're coming, aggressive. When you're coming, somebody's been sick and they want to see somebody, and somebody's thinking they're being aggressive. So this is the challenge that we've been facing, and the pandemic even now added even more, that people cannot be able even to get their health checkup.
So, Mr. Saa Andrew, I know that you know to connect people around the world. What I want to just tell us how you see we can build connection between communities across provinces, because we are here. I'm here in Halifax. You are my brother on that side on New Brunswick. We have communities in Ottawa and Montreal, Toronto, and how would you feel that we can create a connection between those communities? And we have started a new project that we call Canada for Africa, where we want to bring more Africa to Canada, and also as the African immigrant to represent Canada in Africa. So what you can bring in that connection to bring people work together?
Thank you very much. And bringing more Africans to Canada, it takes a lot of work, right? We want our people to come. We want everybody to feel safe. That's one, right? So it's a very great initiative. But how can we create these connections within Africans around Canada, with all of East Coast, West Coast, and everywhere, right? We need a lot of support. We can't do that by ourselves if we don't have hands. Yes, we can start. We can start by doing what we're doing right now. We do a lot of Facebook messages, social media messages, connections, do activities. But guess what? If we have the support, if we have the resources in order for us to do this in a grand scale, guess what? We're going to be able to provide a lot for our community members, enriching programs for our community members. This is not what somebody will come and do for us. This is what we need to do for us, right? In order for us to be able to connect all of these dots around Canada, then we can form one voice and able to grow. And it's enriching. And bringing Africans here or taking Africans from here to another place all take resources, times, and so which means basically we need communities and strategies that have to be in place. But how can you do those things? We need educational support. We need to make sure these things are all in place in order for us to do those things. It's a very beautiful thing for us to able to create that bond within Africans in all around the diaspora. And also, we always have to also know that it's a challenge for Africans to move from one place to another, not just Africans and any other communities who want to do the same kind of thing that we are talking about right now. It's a challenge, but we can right now, specifically for Africans, how are we going to do that? How are we going to make sure newcomers know that, okay, there are other newcomers in St. John or in PEI or in other places? We need the support from allies who really want to come help, not just from government. People who are out there who want to say, I have these resources, I want to put it into you guys so you can able to do what you want to do. I want to put these resources to you guys so you don't forget how to speak your Ugandan language. You don't forget how to speak your Sierra Leonean language. You don't forget how to speak your Burundi language. So we need all the support that we can get in order for us to do this, because it is good for our children. We ourselves don't lose our heritage. And we want to say we don't just want to celebrate Africa in 1 month, just in February. The heritage is the thing that keeps that uplift your culture. So we need all resources that we have in order for us to be able to foster these communications, these connections, and we can do that if we don't have resources to pour into small Black-led organizations, so that we can support those connections that we seek, so that our people can able to work together, connect together, dial together, do things together, support one another. Healthcare, like my brother was saying, that's been difficult even during the COVID for our people to be able to seek healthcare, lack of job and all of that. So we want to be there, stand. If we have the resources to create those connections, run those programs, we want to do it because we feel it. And we are the one who wear the shoe. we are the one who can solve it for ourselves. We just need the support.
Mr. Yusuf, you know, to connect, we need media. My dream is to build a media that we can manage. We can share our stories. We can share our experience and also teach our young generation to continue to learn and share their experience. How do you see that we can work together? Let's start our small provinces like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PI, try to work together and build our media and promote it on social media. Let our community be part of that. So that the quote from Mandela, he said that a winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Let's start to dream today. Never know, maybe in the future we'll be able to build our media where we can promote our community and our actions. How do you see that it can be possible?
Yes, I think it's possible, and actually we're doing it, right? You're doing it right now. South Africa, there is another app. I think you being on social media or a social media person, so you have seen that the Sierra Leonean, a brother from Sierra Leone, started South Africa, which is like another social media or another outlet where we can be able to use instead of WhatsApp, right? And you have all this other media is actually Black media right now developing, right? So I feel like we have the opportunity. It's doable. You know, let's not be victim for temporary contaminant and peri certification. We can aspire, you know, for worthwhile ideals that's, you know, we're going to be able to pass it down to the next generation. So the work that we're continuing doing right now, it's something that we're supposed to aspire, something that we should be proud of, and the direction that we're going by us coming together, by us sharing our stories and bringing one another, people that we feel like, you know, they can be able to aspire others. We have to be able to, you know, to be able to celebrate one another as Black people. You know, we have to champion. We are our own champion. We are advocating for ourselves. So the goal is to be able to create that unity. And by us coming together, we can be able to create platforms and social medias that we can be able to own it. That's going to be African or it's going to be Black owned. So yes, I have high hopes that, you know, Blacks in the Europe here is awake. We're waking up right now. You see, there's a lot of movement you can see all over the world. People are demonstrating, you know, Black excellence, Black empowerment. So this is the push. This is the era of like awakening. This is the time for especially Africans all over the world. This is the time for us to come together, to unite in the same goal, to actually change our narratives and try to develop our communities here in diaspora. But let's not forget about building Africa, because Africa still needs to building. We still need all of us from here. We have to go back and educate our people and to build the Africa that we all want to see.
Battle of the Arts, New Brunswick. That is really your baby. You started and it's growing. Tell us about that.
We amplify. At Battle of the Art, all we want to do is to amplify. And I believe the arts play a key role in changing communities, in bringing development, in waking up our people, in waking up, shaking, steering government, work with allies, people who have like-minded ideas, who want to support and say, that's a talent. I don't want to put somebody on the stage because you don't speak English. Now, that language that you speak, that is what is beautiful. That's the art. It doesn't matter. You know, art, music has no barriers, no language barriers, no sightseeing barriers, everything. So that is what I want to. That is what we keep using. We keep amplifying, amplifying youth voices so that they can speak, provide that platform where people can stand and share. And that is what we want to keep doing. That's why I said we're gonna support Battle of the Earth NB, both are NB. I'm so thankful the allies that are working with us. Like we're very happy to work with Dialogue NB and this year, and also the Friends in Playhouse is actually supporting us, and we have the public libraries and a lot more. Maybe Yusuf can mention more, and they're supporting us. These are, we want allies who come not to take but to support, to amplify, to help us grow, and that's why I said we need more support. We want more support for Black-led organizations and even indigenous-led organizations, small organizations, to support our own communities, so we can all rise. And that is what Battle of the Earth wants to do. That is what we've been doing. That's what we'll do today. That's what we'll do tomorrow. We amplify. We work with people. We keep the community grow, and grow till we can grow no more.
You know, mucho radio, mucho TV, the word mucho is from umucho, which means culture and tradition in our language in Rwanda, Burundi. And the most important just is who we are. It's about culture. So, you know, Yusuf you didn't see me drumming. He saw me on stage. It's about your feeling, your heart, who you are when you are experiencing what you love, what is your culture. I have been see many friends from Somalia dancing here. It's amazing, all the beautiful costumes. And it's about food. It's about color, Africa. It's about our languages. It's very rich way we can share with our community where we live. So I would like just to let you know that let's try to be who we are, bring our culture, connect with our community, and we can build our positive image here. So we are almost at the end of our show. So Yusuf, what is your strong message for 2021?
Thank you, Genevieve, again. So message really, our aim is that our beloved people shall proceed, aspire along the path of culture, as you just mentioned right now. You know, our culture is very important. We cannot lose our culture here, you know, improving the individual and collective, you know, condition and living a life of peace, prosperity, and happiness. So, you know, let's, again, I'm going to just repeat, let's not, you know, be victim of temporary contaminant. As Africans, you know, we have seen where we have had kingdoms of or empires. Our history did not start from slavery. If anything, slavery disrupted our, you know, progress. So we, as I was mentioning, I was saying, it's time that we're seeing all around the world, Africans are waking up, Africa standing up together, trying to be able to change their current situation, wherever you are around the world. So the message is, we should all come together. We should celebrate Africa. We should celebrate our culture. Let's not forget who we are as a people, our kids, our young generation, people coming behind us. We have to inspire them. We have to teach them about our history. We have a rich history. Until today, all over the world are being studied. People are trying to study us. So it's time for us to be able to take back or to try to research our history and to try to educate one another, especially our younger generation. Because our younger generation, they, you know, the history of Mandela's and things like that, you know, three of us here, we might have studied in school, but the history, even till today, histories in Africa, they don't teach about the African history or even aspire or the people that made changes in Africa. So we have to change our narratives, even in Africa. And then even when we come here, we're working towards making sure, as my brother Saa Andrew was saying, it's not just about the month of February that we want to celebrate African History Month or African Heritage Month, we want to be able to include this in Canadian education. We want to be able this African history or Black history to be teach in schools. So that's our goal. Our goal is to unify our people to come together and really aspire for the higher goals, and to make sure that we can be able to inspire the next generation to take the mental and to carry forward even from where we took it.
Saa Andrew, just to end our show, give us your lineup for people coming to visit New Brunswick for this February month.
We have a very, very, very amazing storyteller, story writer coming from Nova Scotia, Shonte Grant, which maybe you know. Amazing. We're looking forward to that. And we have MAP, Making Africa Proud. It's a dance and drumming group. And we have another talented brother, and it's a brother from another mother, Thunderway. He's a poet. He will nail it, and he has everything to be able to tell the story of our the generations and generations and the fights and that Africans and the contributions our people have done here, and that's why we belong, and we need to celebrate our ancestors. We need to celebrate the past and the present, so that we can make the future for our children who are born here, and create more education. And we have JTK, a Nigerian hip hop artist, and from a far land. We have Stalin Mayambo, and who is also from, I think, from Congo. And we also have Anjimade. And so we have so much. We have, and I don't want to say all. Tonight, we're not talking too much. I'm just here to make sure we create this educational program, start telling people what is going to happen. And so what I would like to see more happen, what I would like to see continuously happening, is not a one-month teaching of African history. It's a whole year long. Let it be in a curriculum. But we have a way we like to see that design. Let it be like we want to have a school, a residency program in schools wherein Black students can see themselves. They can see teachers teaching in the schools. They see it look like them. We want to see the same. We want to see indigenous teachers in the school and teaching, so that the kids who come from that community can see their own people in classroom teaching. We want to make it in a way wherein the kids, brothers and sisters, feel welcome. So feel that this is our space. We're here. We're all going to learn. We grow. We contribute to this community. So I want to see more representations of Black and indigenous community members in key decision-making areas in our government. More funding for Black organizations so that they can support communities with housing, education, healthcare, and all of that. We know that racism exists. It exists here. We have to say, we have to face it, we have to deal with it. So I want to say, we're going to stop here for now. I'm going to stop talking for now because I have more to say, but I want to hold on till February 1st. Then we can start exploring more and more and more.
Thank you very much for coming to my show. And I wish you the Black Heritage Month to be a success for you and in all the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, we'll try to, we'll promote Macho TV, Macho Radio. This is great to know, like we have, a Black African radio station. So it's really, we're gonna spread the word. We're gonna let the people in the community tune in and subscribe to your radio show and, to inspire. So this is really great, brother. We appreciated you having us on. Thank you very much.
It's just a beginning, and I know that with Saa Andrew, technically we are working together. I want to open Mutual Radio Fredericton, Mutual Radio Halifax, and we share our stories, and we are able to learn from one another. I will be happy to come to your place and try that to set up a studio, a virtual studio, and we can make it professionally.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
That's how we amplify.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. Thank you.